I wonder why it takes as long for Twitch to fully connect when it starts streaming. Ah, there it goes. Hello everybody, welcome back. Frigid Night here as always. Back at it with Limbus Company. I'll have to show it after I've cleared this dungeon. The heck was it? Okay, yeah, started from that end. I don't know what the deal is with that. Focused encounter, okay. Pierce, Envy, and Wrath. And that's not going to cut it. That might. Also been doing some grinding the last week that I've been playing Hogwarts. Well, streaming Hogwarts Legacy. Eerie Eyes. Deal 5 SP damage. And this one inflicts impending ruin. Instincts. I think the turn of the cat is 4+, change to an aggressive state. Hey. Ah, dang. Actually, no.
완벽한 거리군. 대검 방어.
How's it still a clash if there's someone faster than him targeting that same enemy? Must be missing something. Oh, would you look at that? Hey, Bind speed decreases by that amount. Okay. Pretty slow as is, though.
뻔하지.
Crap. Kiss your butt goodbye! Just to be sure. Oh, wait. Why is that doing less damage? Oh.
자, 어느 쪽일지 잘 생각해보라고.
Oh, shoot, poison. Nothing to worry about. That one over there. That's a bit more like it. Oh, come on! Said it was dominating.
대검 방어.
I'm getting tired of the game bullshitting me like that.
계속해봐라. 이 폭풍이 잦아들 때까지.
They staggered him? Dang. Alright, that's it.
자, 어느 쪽일지 잘 생각해보라고.
여행엔 목적이 있었지.
Maybe I should have brought along Faust. Among the things I picked up was the fluid sac ego for Faust.
대검 방어. 달려라 루신한테. 정의는 승리한다.
What exactly is she referring to by Rocinante? Because I know that in the story, Rocinante was Don Quixote's horse.
내 팔은 뼈에 있었어.
Or is she just being a tuning bio when she says that? I don't know. Gotta be sure.
어느 쪽일지 잘 생각해보라고.
Finally! That's one down.
시간이다. 자, 어느 쪽일지 잘 생각해보라고.
How'd he get staggered? Oh.
위험인물 발견. 재패기야.
비명을 질러라.
출진이다.
저 밝긴다. 돌아하니요.
There! Finally!
되진 않았을 텐데.
Ow. Ah, shoot. That's right.
목표 위치로 돌격 중.
목을 내놓고 있도록.
Figure having one of the sinners go into a defensive stance if he's not likely to, well, if they're not likely to win a clash is probably the best bet if I'm going to minimize damage.
위험인물 발견.
직접 놓아주마. 속에서
대검의 머리가 쪼개지진 않았을 텐데.
At 4 plus confident attack weight plus 1. Nice.
위험인물 발견. 제압할게요.
Okay.
내 안에 갇혀 죽어라. 속에서
누가 이 일에 대검의 머리가 쪼개지진 않았을 텐데. 대검의 머리가 쪼개지진 않았을 텐데. 행동을
Maximum resonance.
속에서 직접 놓아주마.
결정대로
행동을 개시합니다.
Not assertive enough.
제가 이에 의뢰했다면 대검의 머리가 쪼개지진 않았을 텐데.
See, you find a row of glass containers in a corner of the main area. Inside them are dried organs and pieces of life showing active movement. A tragic display. The containers can be opened easily. You can take one of the pieces if you want to. What will you do? I'm gonna take the glowing skull. Radiates gently and feel a strange warmth from it. You take your leave with the item you chose. At the start of the turn, if the character took 10 plus damage last turn, heal 5 to 15 damage. Let's see. Hideously transformed Inquisitors stood guard at the gate. You move to attack, but they don't appear to be hostile in any capacity. Only exceptional ones are allowed in this place to pass. You will prove yourself worthy. You're not exactly sure what they mean by proving yourself. What should you do? Well, that'll have to do.
와일드 헌트야.
Actually, this seems like it'd be pretty good.
사냥 시작.
최선의 방어를.
환상의 세계로 들어가 보죠.
Nah, that's... We're not gonna be visiting it quite yet. That's in a few cantos.
듀라디아. 죽도록 달릴 시간이다.
Okay, best bet's probably gonna be to focus down a few... focus them down as much as I can. While also trying to minimize damage. Emphasis on trying. Okay, so weak to Gloom and Slash. Duly noted. Resistant to envy. Let's see how pride does. That and sloth.
위험인물 발견. 제압할게요. 대검 방어.
계속해봐라. 이 폭풍이 잦아들 때까지.
Yeah, this is not going well. Dagnabbit. Alright, spam ego.
방해되거든요.
Primarily on that one.
목을 내놓고 있도록.
그 자식은 아직 살아 있을 거야. 모든 결과들은 파우스트가 알아요.
계속해봐라. 이 폭풍이 잦아들 때까지. 수많은 것들이 옥죄어온다.
환상의 세계로 들어가 보죠.
Of course, Heathcliff got staggered.
행동을 개시합니다. 대검 방어.
Oh, wait, that's right.
위험인물 발견. 제압할게. 최선의 방어를.
And I don't have a way to heal any of my sinners, so I'm gonna have to start over from. I'm gonna start over from the beginning. Dagnabbit. Okay. Up type 4. Up type 4. Why is it different portraits then? Yukari's gonna do a better job of carrying me. Yeah, I got uptight both of those to 3. What the heck does all this one do? Rupture. Whereas this one does what exactly? Bleed. Coin drop. That one might be better. Also got that one got it to uptight 3. Oh yeah, got that one too.
목표 위치로 돌격 중.
Get freaking Yukari Yakumo with me. This will be a piece of cake. Something wrong with the stream? I can't see. That's odd. Maybe try reloading it? Let's see. Is Lust and Gloom, okay.
시간 됐네.
No, I still can't see. That's weird. I guess there's something going on with the Twitch stream. Yeah, that's weird. Could try going over to Kick. Should be working fine there. Better platform for supporting streamers anyway. Yeah, like I said, I really don't know what the heck has caused the issue with Kick. It seems like it's worked fine before or not with Kick, with the Twitch stream. Under the same username there? Yes, I'm under the same username on Twitch, Kick, and YouTube. Well, it's sort of. With YouTube, it's Frigid Night VOD, but you'd be able to find it anyway.
완벽한 거리군.
이번에 내 피부스.
나의 승리다.
교정대로.
뭐야? 그새 제법 싸우는 폭.
Yeah, I've been through all that before.
피를 머금을 시간이네.
Now it says the Kick is offline. What the heck? That doesn't make any sense. That's weird, because it's showing just fine for me. Wait, what? Or maybe I spoke too soon. I guess it's a delay. Well, is it working on the Kick stream now? Looks like Twitch still isn't working. Or maybe it is. Well, on Twitch it's showing that it's showing a feed now. What the heck? You gotta be kidding me. This explains why it is that the... Okay, because I noticed something weird going on with the last few streams I did to Kick. For some odd reason, I noticed how the stream would get broken up into a bunch of little shorter videos. And if it's some kind of thing where it's like kind of cutting in and out for some reason, that would explain why it's kind of breaking up into a bunch of shorter videos. Man, that's annoying. I have no idea what the heck is causing that either. Great. Can't stream to Rumble because I don't have it. Because you have to have a intro video or whatever for Rumble because reasons. Don't want to be relying on Twitch anymore because, well, Twitch is unreliable. You know, Twitch, due to the situation they found themselves in, they're unreliable.
표정대로.
I wonder if maybe there's, with the sharp increase in people that have been multi-streaming to Kick, has resulted in Kick servers not being able to handle the increased load. Which, yeah, that's really bad oversight, but rather understandable one considering the fact that they probably didn't anticipate there being such a sudden, sharp uptick in traffic to it.
이번에 네 피분수 승리했어.
Alright, Yukari.
이런 건 이발소나 내가 나설 차례인가?
Is Twitch at least working now? Yeah, might as well do that.
출진이다. 추잡하네.
I think Hikaru Yakumo actually had a combo that had an animation like that in one of the arcade style fighting games of the series.
고귀하게. 예쁘네. 네 피분수. 예쁘네. 네 피분수. 피를 머금을 시간이네. 고귀하게. 추잡하네.
영원한 잠으로 인도하지.
Okay, yeah, she's got enough poise.
정아, 너 죽었나?
Not that it matters.
예쁘네. 네 피분수.
헌팅 커틀러리 준비 끝.
실행합니다. 다음 판단을 부탁합니다.
Huh? Deal plus 3 times 1.5% damage against targets with bleed.
형아, 너 죽었나?
추잡하네. 생각대로 되었어. 출진이다.
꿈을 꾸러 가도록.
Yeah, that's one way to finish him off.
피를 머금을 시간이네.
어디서 짐승이 기어다니는 소리 들리지?
행동을 개시합니다.
Yeah, that's good. Oh, come on.
고귀하게. 행동을 개시합니다.
Come on. Just a little more to stagger. The other one, of course.
최선의 방어를.
Huh? I thought they were staggered.
고귀하게. 추잡하네. 당연한 결과죠.
That's one down. Oh, okay. What is with all that? Okay.
행동을 개시합니다.
꿈을 꾸러 가도록.
Roll with that. Oh, okay.
피를 머금을 시간이네.
정화.
지금 행동을 개시합니다.
죽었나?
이번에 네 피분수. 이번에 네 피분수.
it might not have been worth reaching into a corpse for, but it has to prove useful somewhere down the line. You took the sigil and left the room, comforting the sinners who were retching at the sight.
의뢰비 인상에 대해서 대화를 나눠볼 만한 성과 아닌가요?
Okay. Woo!
정도 끝.
Insufferable content only give you a headache. You decide to hold on to it for now and read it for later.
피를 머금을 시간이네.
정화.
최선의 방어를.
추잡하네.
위험인물 발견. 제압할게.
행동을 개시합니다. 추잡하네. 추잡하네.
There you go.
위험인물 발견. 제압할게. 꿈을 꾸러 가도 눈 감을 준비.
죽었나?
네 피분수.
또 죽었나?
위험인물 발견. 제압할게요.
I want to make sure I have plenty of instant resources for using ego.
지금이 기회입니다.
정화.
꿈을 꾸러 가.
예쁘네. 내 피부 예쁘네. 내 피분수.
Okay.
피를 먹으면 시간이네.
That should do. Okay. Ah, dang it.
고귀하게.
What the heck is going on with my mouse? No idea why it's being so unresponsive.
위험인물 발견. 제압할게요.
crap.
대검 방어.
Well, crap.
고귀하게.
최선의 방어를.
Hey, that's not hair. That's supposed to be muscle fibers. Can I get a yeesh?
전투응대에 나선다.
Hammer time.
이 전투는 승리할 거예요.
That doesn't strike me as being a very effective hammer.
위험인물 발견. 제압할게요. 꿈을 꾸러 가도록.
Well, 3 strokes have been drawn. Sloth, Wrath, and Pierce. Oh, that explains why they've been getting so little wrath.
헌팅 커틀러리 준비 끝.
행동을 개시합니다.
Crap.
완벽한 거리군.
추잡하네.
최선의 방어를.
Okay.
완벽한 거리군.
Yeah, considering it's got snakes for arms, you'd think slashing damage would be more effective. Not piercing.
지금이 기회입니다.
That's one part broken. Nope.
행동을 개시합니다.
That's another part down. What the heck? Oh, that's not good. Favored my ass!
행동을 개시합니다.
Guess all that bleed caught up to it. Yeah, that's a hill, alright. And I guess that's gonna be the hill that Cromer will die on.
헌팅 커틀러리 준비 끝.
See endless mounds of dead bodies. The Inquisitors were raising their arms in unison as if to worship something. There, Cromer stood at the highest peak. She held out her hands in a prayer-like gesture toward the golden bough atop an altar.
이미 자아심도가 열렸어요. 우리보다 먼저 황금가지와 공명했군요.
The fathoms of the ego are already open. I see someone has resonated with the bough before us.
뭘 하고 있는 거야?
The hell are they up
뭘
to?
향해서 손을 뻗고 있는
What are
건데?
they raising their hands for? Prayer.
기도? 이건 무슨 소리죠?
That's a good question. What is that sound?
어디서 많이 들어본 소리인데.
It feels awfully familiar.
왜인지 머리가
Somehow
간지럽고
annoyingly tingly and unpleasant.
학교 종 소리잖아. 어지간히도 학교가 싫었나
It's a school bell. Our boy hated school that much, eh? The playful conversation seemed to lighten the mood of the sinners, save for one. The one who should have been the owner of the fathoms still showed unease.
아니야.
No, I don't want to show my memories. They're... Unfortunately, his plea held no power over the realm.
자, 모두 잘 들어.
All right, everyone, listen up. The one who grips so declares.
이단들이 우리의
Not only are those heretics disturbing our sacred rites, they are now offering, after the offering that's rightfully ours to consecrate. Disgraceful and defiled are they.
가서 죽어라.
Go forth and die. Do not fear your end. As long as the offering of gold is with us, shall be brought back to life again and again. We shall fear not, for the one who grips is with us.
그리고
And
싱클레어.
Sinclair,
이리 와.
hurry over here.
어서 내 손에 쥐어야지.
You belong in my hands. Cromer needs to work on her phrasing. And so do those Inquisitors.
싱클레어.
And Sinclair,
저는 가져왔지.
did you bring the coin?
또래들이 모여 있는 쉬는 시간은 늘 떠들썩하다.
Breaks between classes are always lively since everyone gathers around to talk.
어른들은 때때로 그런 우리를
The adults would often watch us from afar and take this as a heartwarming sight.
하지만
But there's something they don't realize.
조금만 가까이서
When
보면
you take a closer look,
떠들썩한
these very
시간이
attractions are brimming with envy,
시샘과 과시,
vainglory, pride, and
우월감과
guile.
간교 등으로 그만큼
Children are crafty creatures.
교
옆반의 라플은 아버지가 직접 양팔 시술을 해주신대. 심지어 아직 제대로 공개한 적도 없는 최신 기술이래지?
Yeah, that's definitely Banivator. No, what the heck? Now it's gone dark on Twitch. Oh man, this is so irritating. For some reason, the Twitch app is not letting me do jack squat. It's not even showing the chat. Heard of Rahul from the next class over is getting surgery on both arms by his father. Gotta be some new tech that's never been shown before. How cool is that? You know this actor on all the magazine covers? Did I ever mention they're getting an eye transplant at my mom's clinic? The waitlist was so long they personally begged to be moved up.
한두 마디씩 던지는 친구들의 말에 나는 초조해진다.
Grow more anxious with each boastful story my classmates tell.
너는 뭐 없어?
What can I share?
라면서 쳐다보는
Their
눈동자들은
expecting eyes point at me like they could turn into scoffing leers at any
비웃음과
moment.
멸시로 바뀔 것 같았다. 이건
This is a
비밀인데
secret, but
침이 꼴딱
I
넘어간다.
swallowed nervously.
어쩌면 뭐
Maybe they weren't asking me for a story after all,
하지만 나는
but I had to keep their curious eyes on me.
그 순간 내팽개쳐질
I knew
것을.
for sure that I'd become an outcast the moment they looked away.
우리 아빠는
My dad
피사와 협약을 맺었어.
signed a contract with P Corp.
지금
They
개발
saw the
중인
technology he was
기술들을
working on and
보더니
agreed to give their full
적극적으로
support.
지원해주기 없어서.
My goodness, just what was I thinking when I spelled
그
that?
사실 그들의 눈밖에 나지
Out of
않으려고
fear that I'd be
공부에
isolated from my
섣불리
peers, I
튀어나온
carelessly spelled my own
말을
ruin.
자초했다. 혹은
Maybe I was compelled by some childish urge,
또래들
an
사이에서 잘
inherent
보이고
desire to be
싶은 저열한
recognized by the other
기습기.
students.
기업 간의 비밀 협약이니 다른 사람들에게는
Now I
절대
know this is a
말해서는 안
confidential
된다고
agreement for our business.
신신당부했다.
Mustn't tell another soul.
아버지의
His
얼굴이
insistent reminder echoed in my head. I could see his face.
와, 그게 진짜냐, 싱클레어?
Whoa, is that for real, Sinclair? P Corp? Like the wing? Wow, I'm jealous.
대화의 중심은 순식간에 나로
Became
바뀌었다.
the center of conversation a split
주위에서
second.
흥미롭게 쳐다보는
I could feel the
아이들이
stimulated
시선을
eyes of the other
느꼈다.
kids in class drawn to me.
우쭐함.
Superiority was pretty damn
그건 꽤
sweet.
아마도 나는
I guess I was driven by a depraved craving for attention.
행동했던
그러고 보니 싱클레어, 너도 곧 받겠네, 의체 시술?
Oh, right, Sinclair. Your procedure's soon, isn't it? You know, the prosthetics?
당연하지.
Yeah, of course. They told me I'll get the newest model.
저들이 만약
If they paid just a bit of
내
attention to my
표정을 유심히
face,
보았다면 마뜩자라하는 내
they'd have
얼굴을
noticed the reluctance in my
분명
expression.
눈치챘을 것. 하지만 다행히도 그런
Fortunately,
것들을 알아채는 이들은
no one ever
없었다.
pointed it out.
쉬는 시간이 끝나고
A massive wave of guilt eventually washed over me after our break was over and I was finally left alone.
자체 비밀을 지키라고 했는데
I was supposed to keep that a secret.
아버지가 아시면 어떡하지?
What if father finds out?
손톱에서는
Blood was leaking from my
어느새
fingertip.
피가 새어나오고 있었다. 불안할 때마다 손톱을
Bad habit
뜯던
of biting
것이
my nails whenever I felt
기어이
anxious
화를
ended up hurting
불러일으켰던
me.
것이다. 나는 그 버릇을
I
고치기
tried
위해
clipping them as short as I
손톱도
could to
최대한
work on
짧게
breaking it,
잘랐었지만 대신에
but I never considered that I might
살점을
bite into
못
my
듣게
skin
될
instead.
줄 모르고 있어. 책상에 떨어지는
Watching blood
빗방울을
droplets
보면서
fall on the desk,
그런 생각이
I
들었다.
thought of something.
졸업을 하면
Once I graduate, I'll get a prosthetic replacement.
그러면 영영
And
상처는
then I'll get hurt, then I'll never get hurt or see my blood ever again.
하지만
But is that really?
정말
너 피가 나네?
You're bleeding.
경쾌한 휘파람 소리와 함께 책상 위로 조그만 그늘이 진다.
Someone casts a shadow over my desk with a whimsical whistle.
말을 거니는 이름 정도만 겨우
She was a
기억할
classmate I
정도로
rarely talked to, so I could barely remember her name.
나는 당황스러움에
Flustered, I stuttered out my response awkwardly.
더듬어 뭐라고?
What? Was that?
있잖아.
Listen, what
네가
you said
아까 한
earlier.
말
Is it
진짜야?
legit? Yeah, it's
진짜야.
legit.
그렇구나.
I see. Your
니네
father must be a
아버지
big deal, isn't he?
진짜로 대단.
뭐
Yeah, I guess.
예상치 못한 찬사에
Her unexpected flattery has me embarrassed,
아버지의 훌륭함이
as if my father's greatness were somehow my
내
own.
미덕이라도 된 거.
그런데
Though,
넌 왜
why did you
그런
make that
표정을
face?
뭘?
Huh?
너 말이야.
You know, you were
속으로
thinking
그렇게
it to yourself.
생각했잖아.
그러더니 고개를 숙이고선
Then she lowers her head and whispers for only me to hear,
더럽다고.
that it's filthy.
눈동자가 커진다.
My eyes widen,
속마음을 들켰다는
not just because I was surprised by how she knew what I was thinking,
애써 숨겼다고
but the
생각한
fact that a
의도에
total stranger like her had been able to figure out exactly what I'd been hiding. How did you know?
뻔뻔하게 부정하면 될 일을
I could have gotten away with it if I'd just denied her accusations, but tactlessly, I asked her what. I don't know, I asked her that with a dumbfounded look on my face.
왜냐하면 나도 너랑 같은 생각이.
Because I agree with you on that.
나랑?
You agree?
통하는 사람끼리
You can see a
나누게
lot from those who are on
보이는
the same wavelength as you.
반가워.
Nice to meet you.
난 크로머야.
I'm Cromer.
그 이후로
Ever since then,
나는
Cromer and I became
Cromer.
friends who'd talk often. Well, that's a no-go.
완벽한 거리고
It'd be really tough to actually fight, at least hand to hand or close quarters like that, when this is your footing.
완벽한 거리고 꿈을 꾸러가다
당연한 결과죠.
Ah, there you go. So that's how I ban someone through OBS. Oh, wrong way.
헌팅 커틀러리 준비 끝.
우리 가족은 매일 아침마다 같이
As
식사를
a
해야
household
하는
rule,
규칙이
my
있었다.
family used to have breakfast at the same table every morning.
온 가족이 식탁에 둘러앉아
It was a pleasant time when our whole family would share stories and encouraging words.
따뜻한 나는 그 시간이
I
좋아.
liked those mornings. That rule was ever so kind and gentle to my heart.
내게는 너무 당연한
A natural and unchanging world that belonged to me. My
나의
world.
세계. 그 세계가
That world
슬쩍
began to feel
위화감을 가지기
alienating one
시작한
day.
거. 나의 누나까지 의체 시술을 받고 식탁에 자리했던
The day when my sister sat at the table after her prosthetic transformation was complete.
아버지의 머리가
My world had begun to change. My father's head was replaced with an unfamiliar contraption of steel, circuits, and wires.
난 가족들 간의 식사를
Our family breakfast no longer provided warmth and connection. It became an
밝은
occasion.
세계가 아니었다.
Oh,
그것은
hey,
오히려
CG,
불편하고 말수가 줄어드는
CG9.
불편한 경험이 되어 있었다.
And back at Limbus, also been having some weird issues with Kick and Twitch stream today, although Kick has been going on for longer apparently. I wonder if it might be that the Kick servers aren't quite up to the task of handling the sudden influx of traffic. Hopefully they managed to get that fixed. It became an occasion of detachment where I talked less and less.
나는 위체로부터
I had started to feel an inherent abhorrence for
느끼기
prostheses.
시작하 어려워.
That's filthy.
신체를 뼈와 살이 아닌 다른
Want me
무언가로
to
대체해야
throw
한다는
some
것이
support,
도통 마음으로 받아들여지지가 않았다.
some support and I guess throw some support IDs. I guess is what you're trying to say there. I'm managing with the what was it, Princess of La Mancha Land support ID I've got. Hang tight a bit, I'll show you some of the other IDs I've managed to get. Oh, from what? I'm not quite sure. I'm not quite sure who it's from. See, my heart couldn't. Yeah, honestly, I don't know anymore. Try going over to my YouTube stream. It's Pixie Sticks. That's on my Frigid Night VOD channel over on YouTube. Like I said, I don't know what's going on with Twitch. This kind of weird thing was just showing a black screen hasn't happened before, and with Kick, I have no idea what the deal is with that. My princess is at uptype 4. It might be yours. Yeah, glad you can actually watch the stream now. My heart couldn't accept the idea of replacing one's flesh and bones with something else, let alone the need for it.
왜 우리는
Why do we use prosthetic bodies?
조심스럽게
I
이유를
carefully asked for an explanation, but the reply was simple.
인간의 몸은
The human body, in its unmodified state, is too old-fashioned.
먹지 않으면 배고파하고
It needs to be
자지 않으면
sustained with
피곤해하고
food,
다치기라도 하면
revitalized with
회복을
sleep, lest it
기다려야
should
하고
fail from fatigue, and injuries take a long time to heal. Alright. Well, I suppose what constitutes a good team would kind of depend on what the situation is that you're using, that they're going up against.
이 모든 것들은 한없이 비효율적이다.
All this makes the human body incredibly inefficient.
그러니 시간이
He
지날수록
concluded that prostheses will grow more commonplace as time goes on and ultimately become a regular part of our daily lives.
곧 필연이라고 했다. 나는 속으로
I thought to myself,
그럴 거라면
why don't I just fall behind the times then if that's what the mainstream will be?
락 논리 정연하게
Though that wasn't an argument rooted in logic.
반박할 수는 없었지만
싱클레어,
Yeah,
의체
Sinclair.
시술 받는 거 사실 마음에 안 들지?
Well, what I mean is like there's some situations where you're probably gonna work, that might work better with a bleed team. Others might be more tremor. I know what a good team would look like. I beaten to hell. I guess you're. I'm not quite sure what you mean there. Yo, Sinclair, you don't actually want to take the replacement procedure, do you?
나는 조용히 끄덕였다.
See, have Wild Hunt with Fell Bullet, Ego, Friendly Hierarch, Ishmael, Firefist, Gregor the best, and I just restarted the game. Nice. Yeah, Firefist, Gregor is pretty good. So is Wild Hunt Heathcliff.
하지만 부모님한테
But your parents sure wouldn't like it if you confessed that.
아무것도 할 수
Isn't it
없는 게
frustrating that there's
원망스럽지?
nothing you can do about it?
다시 한번
I nod again.
내가 도와줄까?
What if I helped you out?
그런 것 따위
You could live a
받지
free
않고
life with no
자유롭게
worries about any of
살아가도록.
that junk.
어떻게?
But how?
그건 다음에
That
말해줄게.
you'll find out next time.
그 대신
In exchange,
내가 너희 원망을
in return for
해소해주겠지.
you and for helping you with your
너도
problem,
나의 원망을
you'll
이뤄줘야
help me
할
deal
거야.
with a grudge of my own too. That doesn't sound good. Shoot.
행동을 개시합니다.
Huh, that worked. Nope, not enough poise.
완벽한 거리.
Oh yeah. Also, with the grinding that I've been doing between streams, CG, I got that ticket that to pick a, what was it, a season 1 ego? I think that's what it was. Actually, I picked the fluid sac ego for Faust.
나의 승리다.
Lust and gloom, huh? That should do it.
먹을 시간이네.
어느 날
One
옆반에
day, a new transfer student named Demian was placed in the class next to mine. Ah, the best one. You mean the Faust fluid sac ego?
전학생 주위는
He was surrounded by a crowd every time I saw him,
사실 그는
but I got the sensation that he didn't feel attached to anyone around him.
내 눈에는 데미안이
To me,
그저 공기에
he seemed as if he was almost floating in the
떠
air.
있는 것 같아
He was
보였다.
aloof like that.
마찬가지로
Likewise, he
그
didn't
또한
seem too interested
내게
in me
별다른
either.
관심이 없어 보였다. 처음에는
That's how it was at first, at least.
그날은 지루하기 짝이 없는
Happened during a boring engineering class.
칠판에서 자꾸
My
시선이
eyes kept
엉근다.
drifting away from the board.
결국 나의 눈은 어느새 창문 밖을 향하고 있었다.
I figured that's what you meant. Before I do it, they were looking out the window instead.
창문 너머에는 산책을 즐기고 있는 그가 보였다.
One brief moment. Did you know Sinclair? Sinclair in the book is a World War I veteran. Don't remember that coming up.
그는 언제나 그랬던
Like usual, he's surrounded by his fellow students, wearing a faint smile.
그 웃음마저도
Even his expression felt different from the kind someone his age should make. That smile carried a mature yet solitary aura.
그러다가 그가
Basking in the sunlight, he stroked his hair.
조용히 순간
I thought I caught a glimpse of some weird red thing on his forehead.
붉은 것이 반짝이는 것 같았다.
Maybe you did actually see something on his forehead. Kind of looks like the mark of Cain.
잘못 보았던 걸까?
Was I mistaken?
순간적으로
Maybe it was the blinding sunlight reflecting off his skin.
것인지도 몰랐다. 그러다가
And then
그와
I had the feeling I made eye contact with him.
여전히 창밖에서
Some students were still chatting outside.
나는 그의 시선을 느끼자마자
As soon as I felt his gaze, I
책상 아래로 눈을 내리깔았다.
averted my eyes and looked down at my desk.
그 기묘한 사건 이후로
It was since that strange incident, Demian started to talk to me in a friendly manner.
신기하게도 데미안이
Oddly
내게
enough,
오는
on the
날에는
days when Demian approached me,
크로머는 아는
Cromer
척을
did come to
해오지
greet me.
다만
Nevertheless,
기회가 있을 때마다
whenever
내게
she
다가와서
did and she had a chance to, she'd come and
약속에
make sure that I
대해 잊지
remembered our
않았는지
promise.
재척
난 종종 꿈을 꿔, 싱클레어.
I often have this dream, Sinclair.
그 꿈속에서
In it,
나는
I climb an endlessly
기다란
long
사다리를
ladder,
타고
then everything
올라가지.
down below comes into view.
그러면
The nest,
땅
the
전체가
back streets,
한눈에
the
들어와.
outskirts, all of it.
둥지와 뒷골목, 외곽까지 전부 다. 그런 다음에
When I look back,
내려다보면
and when I look beneath my
이번엔
feet, all the
온
lights are out in the
도시에
city,
불이 꺼져
as
있어.
if the end of all things had
모든
come,
것에 어떤 움직임도
fallen into
보이지
silent
않는
death, empty of any motion.
맞아. 그건 죽음.
Indeed, it's the state of death
자체인
itself.
데미안
Demian, have you been to the outskirts?
나는 두려움해
I whispered to him,
속삭였다.
frightened.
외곽은 누구도 가선 안
He's
되는
talking about a
곳이고
forbidden place where no one could or should go.
싱클레어.
Sinclair,
세상은
all those
사람들이
people
정한
want to
것처럼
find it can't be divided
가야
into
할
places of
곳과
where you
가지
should
말아야
and
할
shouldn't
곳으로
go.
나눠지는 것이 아니야. 너는 이 둥지에 자유와
Do
사랑이
you think love and
존재한다고
freedom,
생각하니?
love and freedom can be found within the confines of this nest? Compared to here, life is much richer in the outskirts.
나는 오래전부터
That's something I've been
생각해둔
pondering
것이
for a
있었고
long time,
어쩌면
and I thought that
외곽에서
maybe that's where I
그
could
답을
find
찾을
the
수
answer.
있을지 모른다고.
데미안과 이야기할 때면
Whenever I spoke with Demian, I could feel my soul mature a
조금 더
little,
성숙해진 하지만
but I never mentioned my fears about the upcoming prosthetic procedure or my peculiar
크로머와의 기묘한
relationship with
관계라던가 하는
Cromer.
건 그는 나에게
Even though he wanted to know more about me, I was hesitant to share my secrets.
나는 내 안에 은밀한
I was
두려움까지
too ashamed to bear
끄집어내기에
my deeply hidden fears before him.
그리고 마침내
And finally,
크로머와의
the promised day had
약속이
come.
다가왔다.
싱클레어, 너희 집에 있는
Yo,
지하실
Sinclair,
말이야.
can you show me your
구경시켜줄
basement?
수 있어?
그녀의 말은
Her
너무나도
words struck me
갑작스러워.
out of nowhere, that they
그리고
were as light as a feather.
떨어진 지우개를
She asked me that that is
당연한 부탁을 하는 것만 같아.
She asked me that as though it was something as simple as picking up an eraser. I almost caught myself agreeing to it. Why our basement exactly?
왜?
내가 우연히 들은
If
이야기가
the rumor I just
맞다면
so happened to hear is right, your house is connected to a scandalous place. There's something I've got to check,
하지만 부모님이
but my parents
좋아하지 않으실 텐데.
won't like it. I couldn't even bring myself to finish this humiliating sentence.
부끄러워지기에.
내가 확인만 제대로 할
Hey,
수
let me
있다면
check it out, Sinclair.
저번에 했던
I swear I'll
약속
keep that promise with you.
지킬 수 있다고
Cross my heart.
지하실 열쇠를 몰래
Just sneak me the
가져왔으면
basement key and I can navigate just fine.
그녀의 말에 숨어있는 기시가
Unable to detect the faint, familiar feeling hidden in her words, I slowly nodded.
그렇게
Thus, the world of evil began there, right in the middle of our house.
우리 집
Huh. Okay, there we go.
네 피분수.
대범의 머리를
죽었나?
Ah, dang.
행동을 개시합니다.
Oh. I'm not quite sure what Pekatula means, or Pekatulum, but the other part of their names is themed for the seven deadly sins, so Superbiae is pride, Ire is wrath. It's in Latin, by the way.
제 앞에 꿈을 꾸러 가도
I feel like I've heard Pekatulum somewhere before, though.
따라갈 준비는 끝났습니다.
부모님의 눈을 피해
After
지하실
stealing the
열쇠를
key without my
물려준
parents noticing, I took Crow to the basement of my estate as I promised.
크로머가 안내한 곳은 지하실 속 좁은 환풍구역.
Failed abomination or abnormalities? Yeah, sounds about right. From there, she led me to a dirty air vent.
환풍구를 한참
Crawling in
기어가자
the unlit vent for a while, a dank, grimy odor and the sounds of small critters scuttling about assaulted
쥐들이
my
돌아다니는 것
senses.
같은 소리가 옷은 점점
My
더러워지고
clothes are
있었고
strained with filth, my throat was parched, I was overcome with
집에
a desire
돌아가고
to go
싶다는
back.
생각이 그때
That's when I noticed that the smell my nose picked up had just changed from the stench so far.
너도 느껴지지?
Can you feel it?
크로머가 속삭이는 소리가 들려왔다.
Cromer whispered to me.
뭔가 있는
There's
거야.
something up ahead.
만약 돌아가야 할
This
마지막
might have
기회가
been the last
남아있다면
chance I had to turn back.
지금이라도 그녀를 만류하고
Might have been better to dissuade her with all kinds of sweet placations to leave and come back later.
그녀에게
If I knew that
세탁만이
empty
통하지
flattery
않을
wouldn't
거라는
work
것을
on her.
알면서도 하지만 나는
But before I could try, vile curiosity came over
사악한
me.
호기심이 처음으로
I was entering a world where
악당들과
villains
같은
belonged
세계
for the
속으로
first
걸어가고
time.
있다는 느낌이 왜였을까?
And for some reason,
나는
I gave up turning
돌아가는
back.
것을 포기했다. 그게 마지막 기회라는
All while
것을.
knowing in my heart that I was squandering my last chance.
그 광경은 정말이지 두 번 다시는 보기 힘들 정도로
Oh, the
끔찍한
loathsome sight I
장면이었다.
had to witness. It was something I couldn't think to behold twice.
이걸 단순히
Could monstrosity be an apt description for what I saw?
그러기에는 지성이 있는 것처럼 보였고
It seemed too sentient for that. It also seemed deceptively wrong to say that it was even remotely human.
두려움에 몸부림치며
Shuddering with fear, I started to regret stepping into this world.
왜 기회를 걷어차고 나서야
So Claire, you idiot, look at yourself. Hoping by some miracle to get another chance right after you wasted it.
그런 후회와 함께
Along with my regret, I had the feeling that I'd never forget what I saw that day until the moment I died.
크로머
I've got to go back.
하지만 크로머는 달랐다.
On the other hand, Cromer was enraptured.
그녀는 아주
She was
황홀한
mesmerized by the scene, watching intently as though she had made a discovery of a lifetime.
하염없이 어떤 말도 들리지
Leaving
않는
Cromer
것처럼
all
보이는
enamored to
크로머를
herself, I crawled backward for the
뒤로
exit.
기어갔다. 왜 우리 집 근처에
Why is my basement
그런
connected to
끔찍한
such a
곳이
horrid
연결되어 있는
place?
걸까? 왜 크로머는 이
How did
사실을
Cromer
알고
know
있는
this?
걸까? 왜 크로머는 두려워하지 않는 걸까?
W? Why isn't she scared either?
뒤에서 바람을 타고
Could almost hear Cromer's spine-chilling whistles for the wind blowing in from behind.
다음 날 크로머는
The very next day, Cromer came to school as if nothing had happened.
학교에 나왔다.
Why, it's nothing at all? I guess. And it does seem kind of like as though it's, it does seem kind of similar to nothing there.
싱클레어,
Sinclair, thank you so much for showing me precious things.
이건
Take these as my thanks.
그러더니 그녀는
She handed 2 mysterious
정침으로
coins to
동전
me.
2개를
항상 가지고
Always keep them at your side. Got it?
고개를 끄덕이지 않을
All I
수는
could do was
없었다.
nod.
그후 매일 밤
Since then, the things I saw in that vent constantly haunted my mind.
나는 자연스레
I began to consciously avoid
크로머를
Cromer.
피하게 되었다. 그녀를 바라보는
I could
것만으로도
picture myself involuntarily trembling in terror just by looking at her.
내가 그러나 아직
There's
크로머에게는
something I needed to ask. There's something I needed to take back from her.
지하실 열쇠.
Basement key.
만약 부모님이
My parents could find out at
우연이라도
any
열쇠
moment.
정리를 하는 날엔
1 minute of sorting the
금방
keys is all it would
들통이
take.
날지도 모르는 일이었다. 나는 따뜻한 세계에
For the
계시는
first time,
부모님을
I betrayed my parents living in a world of warmth.
더 이상
I was afraid that my deviation from their world would end up becoming an irrefutable fact.
크로머
Cromer, won't you give it back now?
뭘 말이야?
Give back what?
지하실
The basement key.
용기를 쥐어짜낸 어느 날
I mustered the courage to ask one day.
크로머는 예상치 못한 말을 들었다는
Cromer
웃음을
burst into
터뜨렸다.
laughter as though she didn't expect this from
겁이
me.
질린 나는
Intimidated, I slowly stepped back.
천천히
무슨 말을 하려고 그렇게 쩔쩔매나 했더니
Oh, and here I was wondering what you were struggling so hard to say.
좋아.
Fine, you can have it, Sinclair. We don't need the key anymore.
그리고 말이야.
And besides,
네 원망은
your grudge will
틀림없이
most certainly
이루어질
bear
거야,
fruit,
시클레어.
Sinclair. You didn't want to get your procedure, right?
약속 기억하지?
You remember our promise?
너는
You
내
fulfilled my
원망을
grudge, so it's only
이뤘었거든.
fair that I pay you back.
그 보답
열쇠를 받았다는
I was
안도감이
too absorbed in the
사라졌다.
relief of getting my key back to realize what Cromer was really talking about. I
정확히
cursed my
알아차리지
ignorance for
못했던
it.
내 무지 크로머가 말하는
About what Cromer's we really meant.
왜 이제는 필요 없다고 한
About
건지
why she said it's not needed anymore. And how she was going to fulfill my grudge.
단 한마디도 묻지
I didn't
않았다.
think to question a single thing.
내
And for that,
어리석음을 후회하고
I regret my inaction.
저주한다.
I curse my foolishness.
행동을 개시합니다.
There we go.
꿈을 꾸러 가도
행동을 개시합니다.
영원한 잠으로 인도하지.
당연한 결과죠.
Da 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 da. Yeah, so apparently Cromer was always psychotic. I'm shocked. Shocked, I tell you. Wait. Okay. Roll with it.
준비는 끝났습니다.
결국 크로머한테
Roll that beautiful bean
열쇠를
footage.
줬구나.
So you ended up giving Cromer the key.
어떻게
How do you know that?
데미안은 말을 하지 않은
Demian had
것까지도
this ability to get a
모두
grip on things I'd
알아차리는
never
능력이
mentioned to him.
있었다. 언젠가 그에 관해
When I asked him
물어보았더니
about it, he just said it's
사람을 자세히
something you learn by
관찰해보면
carefully
알게 될
observing
일이
others,
많았을 뿐.
and didn't elaborate further.
싱클레어.
Sinclair,
더욱
a series of much more
힘들고
painful
괴로운
events may await you in the
널
future,
연달아서. 하지만
but you mustn't give up.
그 고통이 널
That pain will
더욱
foster your growth into a beautiful being.
제 아무리 어려운 말도
No matter how
데미안의 입에
complicated and
거치면
perplexing
모두
those
그럴
statements
듯해지고
seemed,
말이야.
Demi's mystic charm made them all sound
그런 수의
convincing.
말을 들으면
Listening to his speech gave me the
성장할 수
hope
있을
that I
것
could
같았다.
really grow. I was
그럴
hopeful that I
가치가
could
있는 존재가
become a
될 수
worthy
있을
being.
것 같았다.
Yeah,
하지만
but I don't really get it though, Demian.
네가 알아내. 그런
It's up to
다음에
you to find
나에게
out.
답을
Make sure you tell me your answer when you do.
말투는 부드러웠고
His voice was
눈은
soft and
웃고
his eyes
있었습니다.
imparted pleasantness, but I still felt compelled to do as he said.
그 눈동자에는
His eyes must have held some
분명
kind of power,
특별한 힘이 눈만 마주치면 힘이
disarming those who make eye contact with him, sapping them of mental strength.
특별하지만
But
그렇다면
if that's the case,
왜
why didn't he
일말의
warn me?
언급조차 해준 나는 지금까지도
It's something I still ask myself to this day.
궁금해지고 있다.
Yeah, boy.
위험인물 발견. 제압할게요.
This one's gonna be a slog.
최선의 방어를.
Hmm.
행동을 개시합니다.
Beginner's luck. Sounds like the Doom soundtrack.
정화.
눈 감을 준비야. 위험인물 발견. 제압할게요.
죽었나?
Good work, Hikari. Yeah, it just keeps going.
헌팅 커틀러리 준비 끝.
그날은 크리스마스 이브로
It was Christmas Eve and the whole town was filled with jingles and joy.
성야의 가호 아래
Under the blessing of the holy night, I was planning to confess my sin to my family.
나름의 지하실 열쇠를
I wanted to tell them that I made the foolish mistake of stealing the basement key and that I'd go back to being a good son.
아들로 그 시간 동안 나는
That the short time I spent away from the right path was agonizing.
내가 속한 세계가
That I learned how
얼마나
peaceful and
평화롭고
fulfilling the world
만족스러웠는지
I've been living in truly was.
절실히 깨달았다고.
really does sound like repentance. Also kind of reminds me a bit of the parable of the prodigal son a bit. Which I imagine is probably intentional.
그러면 가족들은 처음엔 잠깐 놀라겠지만
My family might be surprised at first, but I was sure they'd welcome me back into their paradise.
분명
That was how it should have
그랬을
been.
것이다. 하지만
However, huh?
원래 같았다면
I was supposed to hear a robot and a dog greet me when I stood at the gate. My home was covered in silence and darkness.
집은 뒤이어 내가 마주한 건
When I walked inside, I was confronted with a fallen paradise.
누군가가
Someone smashes my father's head.
녹색 은색의
A
갑주를 입고
disturbing
있는
individual wearing rusty silver armor.
인간되지 아니한 것들이 인간성을 흠모하여
How insightful these non-humans to still admire humanity and display false emotion.
내버려둬 기도.
Let those impure things be, Guido. Is their survival instincts kicking in?
아니,
Or should I say,
전기가
they're scared of
끊기는
shutting
것을
down?
두려워할 뿐이라고 하는
기계 파편과 피해,
Pieces of metal,
살점들이
flesh, and blood flying through the air before hitting the floor.
싱클레어.
Sinclair, you're here!
피와 살점이 묻은 망치를 든 채로
Cromer approaches carrying hammers stained with blood and flesh.
아, 이거 말이야.
Oh, this thing?
난 옛날부터
Ever since I was little, I couldn't stand being involved with filthy affronts to humanity like these.
불길에서 참을 수가 없었거든. 왜냐하면 나는
Because I'm a humanitarian who loves all things human.
그런데
Now imagine how it feels to face the son of a pack of those affronts to humanity.
내가
Just what should I
널
do with you,
어떻게 해야
Sinclair?
할까, 싱클레어?
나의 다리는 힘이 풀린 지 오래다.
My legs have long given up.
입도 마찬가지다.
My mouth couldn't move.
온몸의 모든 요소가
It was as if my
자기
whole body
멋대로
refused to
움직이는 것
cooperate.
같았다. 눈앞에 크로머의
I saw Cromer standing right before me.
차마 고개를 들
Couldn't
수도
even dare
없었다.
look up. Terror kicked in with the realization that she was so close to me, my eyes shut themselves tight.
아버지와
The thought that the same hammer that crushed my father, mother, and sister would now come for me was
견딜 수 없을 정도로
unbearable.
두려웠다. 하지만 아무런 기척도 없다.
But nothing happened.
의아해진 나는
Confused, I carefully opened my eyes and lifted my head.
크로머는
Cromer was
나를
watching me,
바라보고 있었다. 언젠가 내가 책상에
making a
앉아있을
perfect
때
smile just like the one she made when she first came to my desk and told me her name.
하지만 너는
Well,
내
you're my
영혼이야,
hero,
싱클레어.
Sinclair.
그러더니
She then reaches into the pocket of my school shirt and takes out a coin.
나에게 쥐어준
It's one of the two she handed me the other day.
앞으로
From now on,
무엇이든
you'll doubt everything, be anxious of everything, and live in ever constant terror as memories of me haunt you.
그러다가 때가 되면
And when the time comes,
내가 널 부를
I
거야.
will call for you.
어이,
Hey, someone take this kid to safety. Lay a finger on him and I'll make you regret it.
엄습하는 이명과 구둣발 소리.
It's the piercing noise, storms of heavy footsteps, and disorientation.
나는
I lost consciousness. Yeah, Cromer's nuttier than Chinese chicken salad, that's for sure.
행동을 개시합니다.
최선의 방어. 그걸 위로했다면 지금이 기회입니다.
Dang, got him all the way down to 1.
정화
그걸 위로했다면 내 피분수.
Next.
행동을 개시합니다.
위험인물 발견. 제압할게요. 공감을 준비야. 추잡하네. 대검의 머리가 쪼개지지 않았어.
And it's gone. Oh wait, there's one left. Never mind.
행동을 개시합니다.
Ah, welcome back, CG9. Oh my gosh. Just keeps going.
목표 위치로 돌격 중.
정신을 차리니
When it came to my senses, I found myself in an alleyway at midday, heated by the sun.
난 그곳에서
I swayed there on the ground, dazed and confused.
길가
I
곳곳에
could see a haze rise from the surface.
싱클레어, 네
Sinclair,
세계의 의미가
a
뭐야?
crack has been made in your world.
내가 데미안을 봤을 때
I felt like I was
종종
starting to
느꼈던
understand
위화감이
what the
좀
strange feeling of got from Demian was.
어째서 그 아이는
I just found it weird how I'd never
항상
heard his
발걸음
footsteps.
왜 모든 건
Why does everything arrive in desolate silence as if it belongs to no world at all?
가족의 죽음
The loss of my family, the world of evil, all this despair,
그리고
and you too.
두렵니, 싱클레어?
Are you scared, Sinclair?
그는 내게 말했다.
He spoke to me.
모든 것을
He had the eyes of a person who saw through everything,
그리고
and
그
the attitude
모든
of
것이
someone who
예정된
predicted this
수순에
series
지나지
of
않았다는
events.
듯이 심지어 그는 알고 있는 듯이
He didn't even wait for me to reply, like he knew what I was going to say.
언젠가 전부 깨버린 채
One day you'll break it all together and soar,
나는
and I
전부 그
wish to see you
널
completely
보고
bare.
입 밖으로 꺼내지 못하고 있던 나의 속대답이
You need to work on your phrasing, bruh.
이미 알고 있다는 듯.
He responded as if he already knew the answer I was hesitating on,
그러나
although his words seemed to radiate warmth.
온 제대로 익지 않은
I
칠면
felt a certain chill
차가운 내부를
biting
씹는
into the
것만
cold
같은
insides of a half-cooked turkey.
나는 다시 한번
Couldn't help but fall unconscious
정신을
again.
잃을 수.
Well, at least that was a short flashback.
행동을 개시합니다.
영원한 잠으로 인도하지. 이번에 네 피부인사. 시간이 애매했다. 전투 응대에 나선다. 생각을 의뢰했다면
Dang, he survived! Or I suppose it.
정화.
네 피분수?
Next.
목표 위치로 돌격 중.
Alright, focus fire that one down.
정화.
Or something.
전투 응대에 나선다.
Oh, didn't know you left a second time. Or is there technical difficulties?
대체.
전투 중이니까 짧게 부탁드리죠.
Okay, so I guess she doesn't have any poise right now.
내 뒤에 서 있어.
Yeah, she doesn't. Okay.
정화.
Nope. Ah, still not enough poise.
정화.
think she's got enough poise count.
고귀하게.
Yep. That one's staggered. Ah, they're both staggered. Good! How lovely!
고귀하게. 이쁘네. 네 피부.
대검의 머리가
Alright, there we go. New Toho fighting game? Yeah, that's what the Princess of Lamancha Land looks like, doesn't it? Well, what if two guys who can do coin drop?
목표 위치로 돌격 중.
어땠어, 싱클레어?
Well,
네 마음속에
Sinclair,
나 있는
we have to
길에서
find an answer in your heart's path.
정답을 찾을 수 있었니?
그럼
Don't give me that look.
아직 때가
It's
되지도
not even
않았니?
time yet.
널 죽여보고
You'll
싶잖아.
make me want to kill you.
아니야,
No,
참아야
no, I should abstain. I can't let immediate entertainment distract me from the more important things. No, there's a new Toho fighting game? Oh! I'll have to check that. Some of the Toho fighting games were some of the very few arcade-style fighting games that I was any good at all.
싱클레어, 공명하기 시작한 황금 가지를 회수하려면
Sinclair, the only way to retrieve a golden bough that's begun to resonate is...
알아요.
I know.
황금가지가
Even if it weren't for,
아니었어도
only for a mission,
저
I'd still tear
개새끼는
that bitch to pieces
제가
and drink of her
찢어맞을 거예요.
remains. Oh, Sinclair, when did you learn to act so tough? That's not like you at all. What a right.
그래도
Still, well, I guess you've made some friends since then.
이번에는 도망치지
You won't run
않을
away
거지?
this time, will you? Luna Knight 2? I thought Luna Knight was a Metroidvania. Well, that ain't good.
위험인물 발견. 제압할게.
Sure you got enough coins for that in this or Cromer. Oh yeah. Yeah. gaze into the target for the next turn?
행동을 개시합니다.
내 방어를.
It's a DPS buff. Oh, goody. Ah, shit.
고귀하게.
Oh, great. Cheater! What the?
모든 결과들은 파우스트가 알아요.
전투응대에 나선다.
Let's see how you like nails and bleed yourself.
위험인물 발견. 제압할게요.
Be gone, psycho.
이 전투는 승리할 거예요.
defense level for every 2 stack. When hit, inflict 1 bleed against the attacker. And lose 1 stack. Max stack convert to the next stage of this effect. Inflict. What was it? Oh, come on! Whatever.
전투응대 나서.
행동을 개시합니다.
대검 방어.
Let's see. Buffs to skill make her skill 3 AoE. Let's see. The sinners were fatigued and damaged, some already dead. As opposed to us, Cromer still stands triumphantly. She reaches for the inside of Sinclair's coat in what seems like a declaration of his fate.
자, 때가 됐어, 싱클레어.
Now it's time. Now then. It's time, Sinclair.
두 번째 동전.
I'll be taking the second
마지막
coin.
기회를 가져갈게.
Your last chance. Are you
왜 그러는 거야?
doing this to me? Why me?
싱클레어. 내가 왜 지하실
Sinclair,
열쇠를 순순히
Do you want to know
돌려줬는지
why I
알아?
give you back the basement key, would you ask?
그건 말이지.
Listen close.
이미 이곳을 발견했기
It's not because I've made my discovery or
열쇠를
begged a copy of it.
복사했기 때문도 아니야. 네가
It's because you were my
나의
key.
열쇠. 나는 말이지.
You see, I
벌어질
happen to know
수많은
a way to
미래를
take a peek at the
들여다보는
futures
방법을
that
알고
might
있어.
come true.
그 중에 너와 내가 함께 온 둥지를 돌아다니면서 곳곳에 퍼져 있는 모든
I
이단을
saw one
썰어버리고
among them where
다니는
you and I
미래도
traveled from nest
보았지.
to nest, slaughtering heretics together all through and all around the city.
역겨운 이단의 신체
Even though
수하에서
you were raised by
성장한
heretics
나지만
bearing revolting metal bodies,
그들의 역겹다고 느낄 수 있는 너였으니까 말이야.
part of you still felt
재밌지?
disgusted by them. Funny, isn't it?
너는 그 할버드로 이단들의 머리를 꿰뚫고
You'd stab them in the head with your halberd.
거짓말하지 마.
Don't you lie to me!
나는 망치로
I
머리를
smashed their heads with a hammer!
하지 마.
Sure you're not seeing someone else in your shoes there, Crummer?
누구보다 자유롭고 초월한 듯 보였어.
In that world, you looked like the freest person in the universe, transcending everything.
아니야.
No.
거짓말이야.
You're lying!
거짓말인지 아닌지.
Whether I'm lying or not. Crummer suddenly cracked a laugh and stopped moving. The golden bow. The golden bow on the altar resonated with her cackle and began to glow brighter. Then,
시작됐어. 드디어 나의 최종적인 원망이 이루어지는 시간이야.
ugh! That didn't sound good. The hideous organic growth, bundles of ambiguous appendages stretch outward in countless numbers, as if desire and madness were made manifest.
싱클레어,
Ugh!
나를 찢어 마셔봐. 할 수 있다면.
Too bad we don't have a wood chipper.
위험인물 발견. 제압할게.
That's the lyrics showing up on the screen, isn't it?
위험인물 발견. 제압할게.
A voice?
최선의 방어를.
You mean the voice of the library?
나대지 말고 내 뒤에 서 있어, 주인.
행동을 개시합니다.
피나르를 시작하자.
The fleshy hill exuded potent acid, melting Sinclair's legs. All the other sinners were being dissolved by the caustic secretion too. He trips and hits the ground. No, perhaps you should say he was thrown off his feet. In spite of that, he still crawls towards Cromer. Yes, that's it. It hurts, doesn't it? You're filled with rage, aren't you? Accept it all. Welcome it with open arms. And watch me. Watch my glorious body closer to the purest form of humanity than ever before. Yeah, she's even crazier than before. Purity of madness. Sinclair, you're scared all along, weren't you? You lost your family. You had to ride a bus with these strangers forced to do things you didn't want. You knew in your heart that you didn't belong to their right? Didn't you want to run? Didn't you want to quit it all? Am I wrong? I find it neat how 1ID talks to us directly. Which one? Join me, Sinclair. Don't avoid this. Embrace it. Complete my grudge. The arm Sinclair was using to hold his weapon was growing limp by the second. He nevertheless continues in Cromer's direction. Yeah, boy. Couldn't leave him like this. Listen, Sinclair, listen to me. I'm embarrassed that it took me so long to take action, but it's better late than never. Act like the manager I am. I know you think it. I know you think a lot. I know there's a lot going on in your head that you can't share with others. That's how he was. Worried that he might be a burden, he constantly put his mind through doubts and ruminations, most of which he never let on about. He's chewed up many a thought in the form of guilt.
가족들은 나 때문에
My family died because of me.
말해서는
I said stuff I really shouldn't have.
모두 네 잘못이야. 그러니까 받아들여. 그래야 완전하게 거듭날 수 있어. 나를 따라와.
Don't listen to her. You have to see. Look at her. Observe her carefully. As my voice didn't seem to reach him. Sinclair's weapon leaves his hand and lands on the ground. His advance for Cromer has stopped. Yep, looks like this is the end for us. I can feel my body melting into the mound. I knew I'd died trying to play the proper manager sooner or later. But Sinclair, I have to tell him more. I have to tell him that the Cromer's spewing a heap of lies, threats, hypocrisy, and exaggeration. Every nerve in my body is screaming that I shouldn't give up on him. I can feel the burning... The Ting Tang Hong Lu on the main screen? Oh. I can feel the burning pain of my melting body. Look closely, Sinclair. Not with your eyes, but with your heart. Screech at Sinclair. Only then will you see what matters most.
그래야만 가장 중요한 것이 보일 테니까.
In that moment, someone quietly
가장
appeared.
중요한 것을 볼 수 있다면
And when you can see the things that matter most,
얕은
you
겁박이나
won't have to stifle yourself with shallow threats or cheap tricks.
그렇지.
Isn't that right, Sinclair? He moved with grace and airiness, as though he floated in the air. He seemed lighter than anyone else, unbound by anything. Contrary to his impression of freedom from all worldly longings, an oppressive air seemed to accompany every step he took. And with just a wave of his right arm, well, if it ain't the big dang hero. Cromer's upper body vanished in a clean cut.
데미안.
네가 스스로 운명을 바꾸었구나.
You've changed your own fate, Sinclair.
너는 아직 겁쟁이도
Right now, you're
아니고
neither a coward nor a hero, but you've still yet to let go of your fears completely.
완 그때도 말했지.
I've said it before, haven't I?
누군가를 두려워하는
When you
건
fear someone,
그 누군가에게
that's because you gave them the power to have control over you.
자신을
맞아.
That's right.
그리고
And I
나는
don't
다른
want anyone
사람이
else to
너를
domineer over
기다리기
you.
싫어. 그래서 저
Which is
크로머를
why I got rid of that Cromer.
사라지게
The man referred to as Damien, then started to walk. He took airy steps as though he were embarking on a light trip.
세상은 곧
The
새로운
world is about to head
탄생을 향해 갈 거야.
is about to head for a new
그리고
birth,
그곳에는
and only a
아주
few
소수의
individuals can get
사람만이
there.
갈 수 있어. 싱클레어,
Sinclair,
너도 그중 하나야.
you're one of them. Sinclair fainted before he could answer. Damien slowly made his way over to me.
크로머는 옛날
Cromer
옛쪽의
attempted to
사람들이
become a
믿었다던
god, like those which people of the past were said to believe in.
싱클레어는
Sinclair almost became her stepping stone.
하지만
In
알은
the end, though,
혼자서
one has to
깨야
break an egg on their own.
크로머는 꽤 노력했어.
Cromer put in quite a bit of effort doing this and that to create a throwback to the time when Sinclair lost his first coin.
크리스마스까지는
Irregardless of the fact that Christmas is still a while away,
결국 자기들이
it's
그렇게
ironic that they
싫어하던
resorted to
가짜를
creating
꾸미고
false imagery,
있었다는
something they loathed so deeply.
아이러니야, 그치?
Don't you think so? What are you talking about? Who are you?
반가워, 단테.
A pleasure to meet you, Dante.
당신이 잠깐
So
동안
you're the adult who will
싱클레어를
condition
기다려주려고
Sinclair at the moment.
내가 누구인지
As for who I am,
무슨 말을 하고
and for what I was
있었는지
talking about,
때가
you'll see in
되면
due
알 수
time.
있을 거야. 싱클레어가
When Sinclair takes flight with unshakable faith in the power of the heart. Right.
아름다운 별과
When he becomes one with
하나가
beautiful
될 날이
stars.
있지. 그때 나는
That
다시
is
돌아올
when
거야.
I'll return.
그날까지
Take good care of Sinclair until then, Dante. You can hear me?
나는
I can hear all sorts of chirps and trills, Dante. It's only natural that I hear your voice.
당신 언제나
As
그릇
always,
가장 중요한
what matters most is something you can't see or hear. The boy with the blue scarf vanished without notice. After that, the mounds began to melt away. They dissolved into mixtures of flesh and mud. With them gone, a single golden bough appeared before me, spreading its warm light. Sinclair's world was gradually melting with the hills. I excruciatingly dragged what's left of my upper body across the floor to reach Sinclair. He was still breathing, and so was I. I figured I should still be able to turn the clock. Thus, that means I'm still their manager, and I should act like one. Plus, as I learned in my dying moments, I have to strive to become a more sensible manager. With all that, I need to tell him. It might have been your fault, Sinclair. But that's okay, really. It's one small mistake, one anyone could make. Don't beat yourself up so much about it. I pat him on the back with my half-melted right arm. Sinclair doesn't reply. To be truthful, trying to identify someone to blame all this on would be a never-ending endeavor. From each of us going and carrying our sins onto the bus. To my loss of head and memory, accompanied by an involuntary appointment as the executive manager. At the root of all this, I find no one but myself to blame. Staying bound by that fact, though, will only keep us from taking our next steps.
발견했습니다.
I can hear multiple footsteps approaching our horribly incapacitated team. Virgilius must have figured we'd get into a mess and called the after team to scoop us off the ground.
이자인 것 같습니다. 지금
This
주입합니까?
looks like the individual we seek. Do I inject it now?
다른 자들은 이자만 생존해 있다면 살아날 수 있다.
The others can be revived as long as this one lives. Focus all resources on restoring their body. I felt a jab in my shoulder, and then a strange sensation developed the parts of my body that had melted off.
그분이 지원해 주신 HP 앰플은 3개입니다. 전부 주입합니까?
재생 경과를 지켜보다.
Keep an eye on the regeneration progress and use them at your discretion. Lucky strap hangers. The rolling in luxury things are having a color on their team. One with a friend in K-Corp at that, too.
을 확인했습니다.
Confirmed. The voices around me start to fade. Sinclair's bawling lamentation dimly rings through the emptiness. Our third mission marked its sober end in dismal defeat. Even though we recovered the golden bough, we lost. On the other hand, the bus was more vibrant than usual, possibly out of everyone's attempts to disregard the depressing outcome. I bought enough chicken kebabs for all of you to have one, so if anyone didn't get theirs, go and put your detective caps on by yourselves.
신기하게 생겼네요.
Such curious cuisine. What is the intention of skewing chicken meat with a stick?
내가 살던 곳에서도
I may be unfamiliar with this kind of dish.
것 같소.
Kochi of the dock variety?
달콤한
I don't know.
냄새.
A sweet smell, the kind Methy likes. Stimulated, Karen revved the engine. Karen was humming another familiar tune. I could recognize the song this time.
하루한 아직 크리스마스는 한참 멀었다고.
Karen, isn't Christmas still a long ways off?
카론의 흥을 깨지 마.
Don't put it down on Karen's fun, bug guy.
카론이 크리스마스가
If Karen feels like it's Christmas,
그런 거야.
that's that.
원래
Come on, I called you by your name for once.
뭐 그러면 그렉도 기사 양반이라고
Well, why
부르던가요?
didn't you settle the score by giving her a bus girly then? You know, tit for tat and all that. Virgilius was watching the scene unfold, leaving his food to cool and hardly taking a bite, even though he was the one who bought it all. Perhaps he's gone quiet because of Karen's song. It does come to mind that he said she was going through a tunnel. And then it turned to my gaze to Sinclair, who was awkwardly laughing amongst the other among the other sinners. If we're going through a long tunnel, then what we do is wait for the morning to arrive, right? What was that, Dante? Drop the goofy poetry and have a kebab. Come on, say ah!
관리자께서는 입이
Our
없다.
manager has no mouth.
관리자님은 말
The executive
한마디
manager has no
없이
need for a mouth, as they're
놀라운
perfectly
인재심이
capable
없는
of
것이다.
commanding us without a word. Do keep that in mind.
아니,
Golly, don't you ever get tired of licking their boots so clean, Otis?
야,
Oi! Got more of this scran? It's peak!
이봐 벌양 라이터 줘.
Hey, BG, give me a light.
그리고 말하면 내가 모를 것 같았어.
Thought I wouldn't know what that's short for. Thought about giving a speech to the students about how this fruitful yet unsuccessful mission changed my mindset. But I soon shelved the idea. I told Sinclair to not let the failure of the moment bind him. Not let the failure of the moment bind him, after all. Instead, I resolved to make up for this less than ideal outcome on our next mission.
So,
May I have thine attention, Sir Virgilius? But I do believe I have acted with sufficient caution as you so hath warned.
그러니
Thusly, if I may, would you allow me to lay claim upon a skewer?
그러던지
Go right ahead. As Don Quixote's extended jubilation adds a layer of vigor to the already lively bus. The message I couldn't speak, but one I'm sure has been conveyed in one way or another, spreads between us. And so the morning came.
피분수가 폭죽보다도 높이 솟아올랐어. 아니야, 이렇게 크게 웃으면 안 돼. 아름다움을 잃지 않게. 그리고
Yeah, boy.
분석으로서의
Hell's chicken.
잃지 않게 하자.
해가 내 얼굴을 물끄러
I'll have to call the stream here. Probably not much point rating out with the crap that's been going on with Twitch today. Boy. I may or may not have to take a break from streaming while I sort out what the heck was going on. Oh well, it is what it is. As always, folks, thank you for watching. Peace and live with you this day and always.